Hello and welcome to the Manifestation Mastery Course video 29A. And in this video, I am going to share with you an incredibly powerful technique and understanding that you need to know in order to be able to completely manifest what you want in life. Happiness, love, prosperity, health, name it. In order to be able to think what you want and intend it, you have to understand this principle that we're going to talk about, which is about being controlled. So before I go any further, please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button, and these links are here for you to peruse. I won't get into them right now, but don't bypass these links because these links also have all kinds of tools that you need. But for today, I'm going to talk to you about very important just this should completely shift the way you see yourself and the world. And again, you have to wait till the end of the video because then I'm going to direct you to another video where you will have an opportunity to do a very powerful technique which will potentially give you your power back. All right, so there was a study done at Columbia University. And this study, this experiment, was done with 5th grade children. And in this experiment, they took a group of 5th grade children and arbitrarily split them up into two groups. So there wasn't any rhyme or reason for it. They just split them up into two groups. And they gave each group very challenging puzzles to work on. So these were 5th grade kids, right? And at the end, whatever time limit they gave them, they said, okay, stop. Regardless of how well the children did, they went to each group, and to the first group they said, congratulations, you get an A plus because you are obviously very intelligent and very gifted. And that is why we're giving you an A plus. That made the children very happy. Then they went to the next group and they said, congratulations, you get an A plus because you are very hard workers and you are determined. And because of that, you get an A plus. Now, before we go any further, I'd like to just ask you, I have no idea what you might think, but I'm interested to know which group do you think is going to end up continuing to do well? Is it the one where they're told you are special? Because that's basically what they're saying. You're special. You're chosen. Religion does that. Those that God chooses, the chosen ones, right? Do you think that is something that will propel a person forward and give them success? Or do you think being told you are a hard worker, you go out there and you work hard for what you want, and that's why you're going to be successful? So which one of those do you think is the best thing to tell little kids? Well, here's the result. After that, those who were conducting the experiment then gave each of these two groups, 3 sets of puzzles. Easy, somewhat challenging, and very challenging. Now, the group that was told that they were special, that they got an A plus because they were smart and that they were gifted, they only wanted to do the easy puzzles and they got bored. They got bored if it was hard. They didn't even bother with the hard puzzles at all. It was too much for them. And they got bored and cranky, and at the end of the experiment they were asked, did you like this? And they said no, they didn't like it. The other group, the group that was told that they were hard workers and that they were disciplined, they actually excelled. Not just at the easy ones, but they also went and tackled the hard puzzles as well. And afterwards they were asked, did you like doing this? And they said, yeah, it was fun. I really enjoyed hearing that, because as you know, what I teach here is that the law of attraction as it is being taught is either outright warped or at the very least incomplete. Because what you are taught in the law of attraction is just make sure you focus on feeling good. Don't worry about doing anything. In fact, I won't mention any names, but one person very, very popular who has cruises and makes millions and millions of dollars, channeling information from the other side. This person, I've actually got this person on record saying, don't take any action, only focus on your feelings. And when I did a video about it, this person came after me and got me shut down for live stream for 90 days. So it gives you an idea. These people don't want you to know the truth. Because the truth is, it's not about what you feel, it's about what you do. Now, that was really eye-opening for me because little kids, especially at that age, haven't been completely hypnotized and programmed into being a functioning, sheep, a cog in the wheel of society. They're still malleable. And so they didn't have any preconceptions. Now you go to an adult who's already got all their unconscious, patterns in there, and you tell them one or the other, you're special, God's going to bless you. Just focus on positive feelings, love and light, everything will come to you. Don't bother doing anything about it. Or if you tell somebody, you know what, you really have a lot of determination and discipline, and you are able to go out and achieve things and overcome obstacles. You're a hard worker. An adult is going to respond very differently to that than a fifth grader because they're already ingrained with whatever life programming that they've got in there. Because a lot of people, when I tell them, and see, I think I'm making it easier for you because, my experience is I can't control how I feel all the time. I mean, I might be able to do some things to change the way I feel. Sometimes I know I'm indulging in stuff that's not getting me anywhere. I'm like, you know what, I'm not going to indulge in that. Let's focus on, something more positive. But sometimes you can't. Listen, you just can't. Sometimes you are going to be sad. You are going to be angry. You are going to be depressed. You are not going to feel motivated. And the answer to that is not to sit around and try and hype yourself up into some state of happiness or joy, especially when you can't get yourself there. Here's the good news is all you have to do is realize what it is that you want and take action towards it. And here's the best part, regardless of how challenging it is. Remember the study. The kids who thought they were special didn't want to do any work. It was boring to them. They had no motivation to do anything to do the challenging puzzles. It bored them. And this is because of what's called the locus of, I forget what they called it, the locus of power. Let's use that. The locus of power. Locus means location. The end result of this experiment was that from a psychological level, people who felt that the power needed to accomplish something was outside of them were the people who were not motivated. The people who felt that the locus of power was within them felt motivated. So we have a lot of people, and you may be one of those people. I've certainly been one of these people, where you just don't have the motivation because what's the point? The world isn't a fair place. God has it in for you. Name it. Women only want you for your money or want to, lie to you. Men only want you for your body. They don't care about you. The elite want to take you and use you. The Illuminati or the beings of light want to hold you back from experiencing eternity. I'm not saying any of these are right or wrong. Hear me. I am not debating whether or not there are powers out there that can control you. What I am saying is that if you internalize that and you believe that something outside of you is giving you your power, you will not have motivation to do anything. This is why people pray for God's will. It's a waste of time. Why? Because they're praying to something outside of them to show them what it is that they want. You already know what you want. You already know what makes you happy. Why are you waiting to find out what you're supposed to do? You already know. Whatever makes you happy is what you're supposed to do. And let me be clear, what makes you happy is what makes you truly happy. I'm not talking about, sticking a needle in your neck and injecting meth into your brain, or, chasing hookers and gambling. That may be distracting and fun, but ultimately it doesn't make you happy. So please don't write me about, what if somebody, gets their jollies out of hurting kids? No, that's not. That's somebody who's messed up in the head. That's not happiness. That's not joy. What makes you happy will make you happy, and it will also benefit every living being in the universe. You already know what that is if you listen. Then you go do it. Now, in order to do that, you can't be thinking that it's out there. So this is where religion falls flat, because you're waiting for God's will. People pray for God to show them what to do. God, I really want more money. Please bring me money. And, if there is a God, he's like, what are you wasting your time telling me? I've created this universe. Go make it happen. But if you don't believe that you have the power within you, then you won't be motivated to do that. So for people who believe that the power is within them, even religious people who believe the kingdom of heaven is within, because you can focus on whichever part of that religion you want. Wherever the people who have the power within them, they don't look at the difficult puzzles as boring, because the little kids who think they're special think that they've been given their specialness, their intelligence. They don't realize it, but they think they've gotten it from God. When somebody says you're special, you're gifted, they're telling you God has made you special. You're smarter than other people. Don't worry about it. You don't have to work as hard. Problem is, once you actually have to work for something, what happens is you run into your limitation and you go, well, this is obviously something I'm not smart enough to do because I can't figure it out easily, so I must not have the intelligence to do it. And then they give up. But if somebody looks at it and it's a very challenging scenario, but they are under the impression that they're hardworking, that the locus of power is within them, then they go, wow, I don't understand this yet, but if I put effort into it, I can figure this out, and that's fun. And I can't wait to figure this out. So this is the same when it comes to life, when it comes to having prosperity, having success, having love, having health, being able to envision the life that you want and manifest it. You have to understand that the locus of power is within you. The locus of power is within you. If you understand that it's not necessarily, you're at this level here and it takes this much to get where you want to go. If the locus of power is within you, then you will be able to overcome the obstacles to get yourself there. But if you believe that it's outside of you, that it's the universe, that what you want is somewhere out there in the ethers waiting for you to vibrate at the correct level, as long as I can vibrate at the correct level, it's going to come to me, then what's going to happen is you're not going to do anything. I run into this all the time. This is the main thing. I've been there. I'm not judging it. I've been there. I'm emphasizing it because it's not just like there's a few people that are like that. Everybody's like that. We have been trained to not take any action until we have all the resources. My parents told me that. As I was growing up, my parents said, when I was going to be an actor and I was working to be an actor, my dad would say, oh yeah, great, you want to be an actor? Sure, go ahead, but have something, that you can fall back on. Meaning, you got to make money, and there's no acting in money, which is true. But I always had everything that I needed. I may not have been rich, but I always had everything that I needed. But when I counsel people and I say to them, when we both determine what it is that they truly want and they're able to accept that, not many people, not everybody can do that. It takes, that's what I'm here to help you figure that out. But once they figure out what it is that they want to do and it's way over there and they're way over here, then they say, well, I can't do anything about it yet because I don't have any money. So, I need to earn some more money before I do that. Or my husband this, or my wife that, or my mom this, or my dad that, or, I need to have a job. I've got a job now and I can't quit my job. And what they're saying is, I can't go do that until I'm given the resources. It's the same as saying you're gifted and you're waiting for your gift to, it's the same as sitting on the edge of your bed waiting for the right feeling to manifest so that your fantasy will come to you. It's very passive. It means that your locus of power is outside of you, not inside of you. The challenge is that if you are an adult, even if you're, late teens, early 20s, you've already formed your your patterns in your unconscious mind about what you believe. You may talk about, I have all the power and it's all within, but if your response is you're waiting for the universe to bring you the money, and we live in this unfair world with these horrible people and the politicians and the Illuminati and the aliens and the reptilian overlords and the beings of light are all trying to keep us down. If that's the kind of mindset that you gravitate towards, if you go on to the internet and you go onto YouTube and you look for those videos to prove to you how 9/11 was engineered, I'm not saying it was or it wasn't. Fact is, if this is something you focus on, it means that you believe that the locus of power is outside of you. I don't care what else you say. If you say I can't do it because I have to wait until I get the money, or I have to wait until this, it means you believe that the locus of power is outside of you. You are being controlled. That's a decision that you have made, and you are allowing yourself to be a good peon, and you are being controlled, which means society can milk you, like a sheep to the slaughter. If you have the ability to listen to your soul, what I call your soul desire, go up here to neo.thunderwizard.com. It's the first one of the 4 tools that I make available to you. You learn that your locus of power is your soul. And your soul has been incarnated with a joy already within it. You don't need to wait around for God's will. You don't need to wait around for a vibration. It's already there. It's already ready to go. All you have to do is listen to it and go, wow, what really makes me happy is to be a ballerina, is to whatever, live in a shack in the middle of the woods, to be king of the world. I don't care what it is. When you get to find out what that true joy is within you, then you realize the power is within you. So then you look at the challenges and you're not thinking to yourself, well, I have to wait until I get the money. You're thinking to yourself, I'm going to go after that. I don't care what it takes. I know that I'll get what I need. And that's how the universe works. It waits for you to take action. You will not take action if you believe the locus of power is outside of you. You will only take action if you believe the locus is within you. If you're having challenges with this, don't worry. That just means you're normal and you're human. It means, like all of us, including myself, you have been programmed to function a certain way to fit in society. But you don't have to. People and beings and entities and powers that want to control you, this is the most important thing you need to understand. I don't care how powerful they are. Once you make the decision that you're not going to be controlled, they won't control you. You just know what you want and you go after it and you find it. I have a guy that I went to college with. In fact, he and I were colleagues together. We worked together. We did films together. We co-founded a theater company together. And he came from Syria. And You know what's going on in Syria. It's not the greatest place in the world if you are not following, you know. And he wasn't. He was actually an actor, and he was becoming a celebrity in Syria at that time. Things were a lot different back then. And what ended up happening is that he started opposing the government. They targeted him. Now, if he bowed down and said, you know, I'm one of those people, if he's one of those people that believes that, you know, he's waiting for God to deliver him, you know, he probably wouldn't have made it. They probably would have got him and executed and put him in a hole somewhere that we never found him. But he, you know, he has this story about walking across the desert and getting to Saudi Arabia, and you know, having to do all kinds of things to get past the Saudi Arabian kings and rulers, and he made his way to the United States with no money. He didn't speak English. And there's this very funny story about how he was sitting there. I don't know, he was in one of the cities of the United States. I think it was Boston. And there was an ad for Camel cigarettes. And it was like, you know, a carton of Camel cigarettes for, you know, whatever it was, however much they cost, $5 or $2 or whatever it was. Now, he didn't understand English, but he understood Camel. And he understood how much. And he said, oh my God, they're selling Camels for $1.50. Oh my God. That's amazing. And then he started creating in his mind what he called a camel empire. And he was going to get a hold of his family in Syria and take all the camels from America and get them to Syria to become a billionaire. Now, of course, he found out later that he wasn't seeing things right. Now he speaks perfect English. But it shows you what it's like when you have the locus of power within you. Because he was like, I'm here, I don't have any money, I don't speak the language. Wow. And he saw an opportunity to become incredibly powerful and prosperous. And he is. He's an incredibly successful person today as a result of that. Because he found the power, locus of power was within him, not outside of him. I'm sitting here. I'm sitting here after struggling my whole adult life, trying to make ends meet. I was always not quite there. Nothing was ever worked out for me. And here I am I'm going to be 56 here very soon. And here I am in Australia, and I am renting this 2-bedroom beach house, and I am, you know, right down the street is places that look like, excuse me, where is it? Places that look like this. I just walk to it, walk out my front door, go down there and go surfing. I spent all day, I was out in the water surfing for 3 hours. When I'm done with this video, I'm going to crash. And I work 3 days a week, 2, 3, 4 hours, 3 days a week. And the rest of the time I surf, I hike in the mountains, I go walking in the forest. Let's see if I can find. I go walking in the, oh, that's not doing anything. Neither is that. Go walking in the forest. I go listen to the beautiful jungle birds, or I go to the beach and I, you know, swim in the water. Beautiful, crystal, clear green water, blue-green water. So all that came about as a result of me changing the locus of power. When I made the decision, when I was 49 years old and I was miserable and in pain and in a marriage I didn't belong in, I didn't see any hope or any future for myself. I thought that my life was over. I made the decision that I was going to do everything that made me happy, no matter how challenging. I didn't know what I was doing as I was changing my locus of power. It wasn't outside of me anymore. I was taking it and I was holding on to it because I said, I don't care what it takes. I'm going to surf, I'm going to backpack. And by then, you know, I had tendonitis. My knee was the size of a basketball. I was really out of shape, and doctors were telling me I was never going to do all the things I wanted to do. I said, I'm going to do them. I don't care if it kills me. I'm not going to let anything stop me. Everything changed. Long story short, here I am. I live wherever I want. In a couple of months, I'm going to go to New Zealand and spend the summer with down here in New Zealand, hiking and surfing. And then who knows? Maybe I'll come back here. Maybe I'll go to Hawaii. Maybe I'll go to Tahiti. Maybe I'll go to Bali, Indonesia. Go wherever the hell I want. That's the kind of thing that happens when you shift the locus of power. When you decide, I have the power to overcome these challenges. Okay? All right. So, again, as I said, don't worry if you run into difficulty and challenges with this and you feel unmotivated and you feel like you can't do it. Don't worry. I felt the same way. It's just a feeling. I can teach you exactly how to reverse that. If you're willing to listen and follow my directions and go through maybe some challenges that'll come up, I can guarantee you your life will change. And eventually, if you want, you can have complete control over what you do with your life, okay, and how you are and everything. neo.thunderwizard.com. That's there for a reason. Go check it out. It's the 4 most important tools. I'm telling you, if you follow those 4 video teachings and integrate them in your life, you'll end up being able to do what I've done for myself. If you want to look at all my books, all my videos, all of the courses, the astrology readings, rune readings, certification courses, everything, go to courses.thunderwizard.com. Please don't email me asking me, where can I find this? How much does this cost? These 2 links will tell you everything you need to know. So now, I said I was going to teach you a very specific technique, a shamanic technique, which will give you the ability to really tap into this and use the power of the universe that's already around you, waiting to help you, to shift the locus of power from outside of you to inside of you. To do that, I need you to go to thunderwizard.com. You see right up there at these 2, thunderwizard.com. And then you'll see Manifestation Mastery Course. I want you to subscribe to the Manifestation Mastery Course. And there will be a video 29B. This is 29A. And 29B, this is only for people who are committed. If I know you're committed if you subscribe. If you don't subscribe and you have an excuse, from my perspective, maybe I'm wrong, but from my perspective, you're not committed. If you're truly committed, then I'm going to give you a technique, because I know that if you're willing to subscribe, you'll do what I suggest. That's how I know. And if you don't like it, you can unsubscribe and go away and do whatever you want to do. But you owe it to yourself to at least give it a try. So go to thunderwizard.com, click on Manifestation Mastery Course, and you'll see the 29B video waiting for you there. Okay? I will see you over there.